Enjoying secrets of a sugar daddy? How about a little something extra? Here's today's dose of extra sugar with Marcus.
Hey, this is Marcus, and welcome to this segment of Extra Sugar. This is a good one. This is about meet and greets, and that is the initial meeting between you and a potential sugar daddy or sugar baby. So you're going to want to hear this one. But before we get to it, have you subscribed to our Patreon yet? I know we talk about it a lot, but I do need to go over quickly the benefits of that. And for only $10 a month, you can become a VIP member and supporter of the show. You just go to patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast. And I will have a link to it at the bottom of this description of this podcast. It's also at the very top of our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com. What do you get for $10? A lot. So you get to see behind the scenes photos and chats about things that are coming up. We got a special group chat going, and only the people that are members of the Patreon get to participate in that. And it's a lot of fun. You get to hear all the episodes and extra sugars before they go live to the public. So you get a preview of what's coming up, and you will get on our VIP invite list to the next party. And for a limited time, now we're running out of time, but this is till the end of April 2024, you will get profile review and coaching included with the first level. Now we do have some additional levels. We have just gotten so busy with the profile reviews and the coaching that we've stepped it up a little bit. And for $25 a month, you can get limited coaching and profile reviews. And then for $75 a month, you can get unlimited coaching, unlimited profile reviews, and you will also get my personal number and Lily's personal phone number if you need to chat with us. So, and then the other thing with the $75 VIP, you are at the top of the list for our next party, because we are getting quite a few members of the Patreon, and we will go down the list and start inviting people to our next party. Whether you can make it or not, you'll just let us know, but you will always be on the list if you're a member of the Patreon group. But if you're a member of our top tier, you are guaranteed first invitation, or in the top tier invitation. So lots of great benefits. Check it out. And on to our extra sugar. All right, today we're going to talk about meet and greets. And so this is in a forum, and she says, "Hi guys, I have my first meet and greet on Sunday with a potential sugar daddy. We've already talked on the phone and had a few text exchanges. We're meeting for coffee or breakfast of my choice at one of the restaurants in the public hotel. And I've already got my outfit picked out, but I'm not entirely sure what to expect." Yeah, this is for a new sugar baby, the first meet and greet can be kind of nerve-wracking. So I'm glad this subject came up, and I'm glad we're going to get the opportunity to talk about it. She says, "I've seen some advice to treat the first meet and greet like a regular vanilla date, which makes sense as it's a platonic date. But I'm wondering what type of questions I should be asking and be prepared to answer. Should we talk allowance, PPM, or not? Any advice is appreciated." All right, so I'm going to go down and read a few comments. A lot of these people have some great suggestions and advice, things that I would be commenting and advising here, but we're going to go through here, and then I'll add my 2 cents worth. So the sugar baby responds, "I'm just curious. Is this the first time ever meeting with a potential sugar daddy?" And it sounds like it is. "Definitely treat it as a first date as you would with a vanilla date. Ask questions like what is his hobbies or his favorite movie, places to travel, etc. I normally try to avoid a potential sugar daddy asking too many questions about me because I want to build that trust before I let them know personal info about me. So I try and lead the date with asking questions about them and turning it back to them if I'm in the spotlight. LOL. Most of the times these men are looking for companionship, so they don't mind talking about themselves a lot, which I personally don't mind because the least they know about me in the beginning, the safer I feel in case things go sour." Okay, I agree, but I'm also going to advise the sugar daddies to ask a lot of questions. A lot of times the conversations get one-sided. So the sugar baby will be asking all the questions, and the sugar daddy just talks and talks and talks about himself, or vice versa. I've had many times where I've asked one or two questions, and the sugar baby just talks and talks and never even asks me any questions about me or anything. Although I prefer leading the conversation because the one who's asking the questions is in control of the situation, I do prefer a more balanced conversation. I had a really interesting meet and greet with a girl, and she was attractive, very bubbly, and we were having some drinks, and she literally talked for 2 hours, never asked me a single question. Now, we did end up having a great time that night, and I told her, I think I've brought this up before, and I told her, hey, I'd love to see you again, but I need a more balanced conversation. You talked for 2 hours, and I never really even told you anything about me. You never asked, and I never even had the opportunity, which is fine. It doesn't need to be all about me, but it was very awkward. So anyway, we went out on another date, and by golly, she looked right at me and started talking to me and asking me questions. And then I asked her questions, and we got a really nice, balanced conversation going. So funny thing is we ended up separating, or, we just kind of went our separate ways after a little while. And I didn't hear from her for a while. And I think she ended up getting into another relationship or something. But we reconnected during COVID, and we met again, and she reminded me of that conversation that I had with her about her talking nonstop for 2 hours, and she just didn't realize that she was doing it. And she thanked me for pointing that out to her, and it's always stuck in her mind, and now she feels like she's a much better communicator because of that. So that was a very positive thing that kind of came out of a situation that was a little awkward. Anyway, this sugar baby goes on her advice. It says, definitely try to organically bring up the allowance. I normally do this by asking them if they have ever been in a sugar relationship before and innocently try and ask why it ended. 99% of the time, they don't mind me asking and are open about it. We talk about their experience, ask how many years they've been doing this, and if I'm comfortable with them. I'll ask why they are seeking a sugar relationship. Since we are on the topic, I then use that opportunity to talk about what they are comfortable with and allowance and kind of try and meet in the middle. But if you take this route, just be prepared to answer questions about your own personal sugar experience. Most of the time, I keep my answers sweet and simple. But from my own experience, some sugar daddies tweak the truth a bit or lie about personal stuff in the beginning. So pay attention to his body language. With my current sugar daddy now, he lied to me about his job and made it sound like he had a more mediocre career on our first meetup. I knew he was lying based on the way he was acting. Also, his Rolex gave it away, LOL. Good luck. I hope there is a connection for you and potential sugar daddy becomes your sugar daddy. All right, that's good advice. Yeah. Another sugar baby advises, you absolutely should be talking PPM allowance by the first meet and greet. What are you meeting this guy for otherwise? I mean, yeah, to check chemistry and stuff too, but I'm guessing you're not looking for platonic dates with a man twice your age for shits and giggles. And, talking PPM before the first meet and greet, it's really tough. And even during the first meet and greet, it's tough. So just try to find an opportunity to just ask them what they're comfortable with, if they've done this before. Try to feel where they're at. Me as a sugar daddy, I ask the same questions. Hey, have you been in any relationships like this before? What are your PPM allowance expectations? I just want to make sure we're on the same boat because, I have a certain budget for this, and we try to talk about it in a non-awkward way, but it's never easy to talk PPM or allowance. All right. Let's see. Another sugar baby says, did you pick the venue? If it's him who picked a hotel as the venue, please be wary and absolutely do not give in to doing anything physical that day. Yes, be sure to talk allowance expectations. Also, if he doesn't give you a gift of money or something that day, it's not a very good look on him being an actual sugar daddy potential. Well, that is hit and miss. A lot of men do not compensate for first meet and greets. They kind of treat it as a job interview. So I wouldn't base a relationship, a sugar relationship, on whether he gifts you on the first meet and greet. I've done it both ways. I've gifted people and I have not gifted people. And the ones that I didn't gift, some of them have received more allowance and financial compensation than anybody else. So, yeah, it's nice to get some kind of a financial compensation on the first meet and greet, but don't look at it as a make or break situation. Okay, another sugar baby says, normally I would say get the allowance PPM talk out of the way first by text before you meet. But honestly, if you're meeting him at a hotel, I would wait until right after when you get home. Tell him you had a great time, if you actually did and intend on seeing him again, and that you'd like to discuss what potential arrangement would look like between you two. The reason I say wait is so that you don't give him any reasons to think you're going to do anything sexual at the hotel if the meet and greet goes well. Yeah. Again, talking the allowance PPM beforehand can get very awkward. It can turn some sugar daddies off. Like I've had, people that have discussed allowance with me before I got there, and I thought that's just too much. It doesn't really fit into my budget. And then I've met people and I went, oh my God, I would double it because they were so incredible and the chemistry was so great. So I wouldn't talk about allowance too much before the meet and greet, but definitely kind of feel them out and just say, hey, I would love to meet you, and I'm on the site for a reason, but I want to make sure that we're a good fit for each other. Then we can talk numbers. But I've also had it where people were wasting time, like my sugar baby Alejandra. She wished that she would have talked about it at some point with somebody because they really liked her. Of course, she's an amazing girl, and they offered her like $200 a week or $300 a week or $1,500 a month, just ridiculous PPM allowance situations where she's like, well, I just wasted all this time getting ready, going to the meet and greet, sitting down with this person for a while. I mean, they didn't really have the budget that she would need. So that's a tricky situation. And you just kind of got to feel it out in the first initial text. I don't know that there's a magic solution for this, but if you don't want to waste your time and go there, then yeah, maybe you should bring it up. Talk about, hey, my past relationships have been in the range of blank and blank. Just want to make sure that and I would say, and I'm not expecting anything on the first meet and greet, I understand. But, if things go well, I wouldn't mind a small gift of some kind, but that's totally up to you. And then we can talk about an allowance going forward. I think that's kind of a good way of softening up the situation because, like I said, it's never easy to talk about that in the beginning. A lot of times it would save you a lot of time and hassle of getting ready and going there and finding out that it was just a big waste of time. But how many job interviews have you gone on before and you're just like, well, that wasn't what I expected, or it just wasn't a good fit. I mean, you gotta put yourself out there. The more times at bat, the better chances of getting a hit. So, like Lily loves to say, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find that prince. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's Extra Sugar, and we'd always love a follow on Instagram at Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, easy to find. We have lots of fun memes and stories we share. And then, of course, our Patreon group is just growing by leaps and bounds, and we want you to become a member. It's a lot of fun. You'll enjoy it. You'll definitely, you can join as a free member, too. You get some free previews. But for $10 a month, it's a very small amount. It'll help the show. That money goes toward the cost of the studio, helps with the cost of editing, publishing, promotion, all that good stuff. None of that's free, and it really adds up. So any support that you could give us, we really appreciate that. And and if you want to share your crazy sugar dating stories, go to our website at secretsofasugardaddy.com. And Tuesday, we have a very fun episode. It's a little different than most. We've got a salt daddy and pickup artist who joined us. And he kind of gives us some of the tricks of his trade and talks about how he is picking up these girls on sites like Seeking without any compensation. And you're going to want to hear the methods that he uses to do this. So he still provides them a good time, fancy dinners and fun nights out. So, some people don't mind that without any compensation. They still have a really fun date. But you're going to want to hear all the tricks and methods used by a pickup artist. All right, until next time, bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed your Extra Sugar with Marcus. As always, visit our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, to comment or tell us your story.